Okay, so today we're going to make pico de gallo or fresh tomato salsa. What I have here is jalapeno, red onion, some fresh already cored tomatoes, fresh cilantro, already squeezed some lime juice, already chopped some garlic, salt, pepper, and cumin. So what I'm going to show you today is how to cut everything up, put everything together, and prepare it all. So the first thing is you make sure your tomatoes are as firm as possible. I always like to cut the little end off. And you want these to be even in size, these slices. So this way all your knife cuts are the same size. You want them to be uniform. So this way, whatever product you put it on, whether it be on a sandwich or on a piece of grilled steak or chicken or on top of some nachos, it'll be evenly distributed throughout all the product. Okay. I'm using just a plain chef knife here. You can use a serrated knife on the tomatoes if the tomatoes are a little bit softer. Put this in here. Now, that next thing we're going to talk about is jalapeno pepper. All right, the jalapenos aren't super spicy. Two things you want to be aware of is, number one, the oils. Get on your hands. Do not touch your face. Do not touch anywhere else because it will burn. And that a lot of the heat comes from the inside. The seeds, this little vein that you see in the middle, a lot of the heat will come from here. So I'm just going to remove this little bit of vein here, but most of this stuff I'm just going to leave just like this because I like a little heat. Now I cut from the inside because the outside of the pepper is a little bit waxy. This just makes it easier for the knife to go through. And I want to cut this as small as possible because I don't want my guests to be chomping on a big piece of jalapeno pepper. Now we're going to put a nice little bit of garlic. So I have one jalapeno pepper, 2 large tomatoes, about a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Right here is the lime, the juice of 1 lime. I'm going to put that in right now. I have another lime if I want to add it. Now I'm going to add some red onion, and the red onion gives it some nice texture. This will give a little crunch, a little snap to our salsa. Again, you want to cut this, a little smaller than the tomato. You want the tomato to stand out, but you want it to be even in size. And here I'm going to put about 1/3 of this onion in with these 2 tomatoes. Next, I'm going to talk to you about cilantro. Cilantro is an acquired taste. Cilantro is the leaf of the plant. And then you have coriander, which would be the seed, ground coriander. You can put a little of that in there if you like. But this is a traditional pico de gallo. So you cannot use dried cilantro because it's not going to give you the same flavor. You want to pick the leaves off of the stems because the stems are not really anything that you want to chew on because they're not very pleasant to eat. Now we're going to put all this together, our fresh cilantro, and we're going to just start breaking it down. And again, we don't want a big old leaf of cilantro in our pico de gallo. We want everything to be very small and uniform. Okay, so we're going to add our cilantro that we finally chopped. Remember that a fresh herb takes a lot more of a fresh herb than it would of a dry herb. So make sure you have plenty on hand. Okay, the last little bit we have is we're going to do our salt and pepper. Now we have lime juice in there, so we don't need a lot of salt because that'll enhance our flavor. We're going to add a little bit of cumin. Now we're just going to give this a stir. You basically want your pico de gallo to sit for at least a half hour so all the flavors combine and come together. And there you go, fresh pico de gallo.